I do want to extend my congratulations to Nick Bruno. As I said, I've probably known and worked with him as long as anybody assembled here. I was very fortunate to be associated with him at Southeastern, and then, of course, when I moved to the system office, Dr. Bruno was there. And Linda, you're a very patient woman. Now, I meant that nicely. Y'all are chuckling. But I mean that because Nick lived in Ponchatoula, Nick and Linda and their family, which is about an hour plus from our offices in Baton Rouge. And it always amazed me that Nick Bruno, commuting an hour plus a day to come to work, was always there, was always prepared, and always brought me a stack of things to read that he had read the night before. And I say that because Nick is a person of preparation. He does not enter into any task without doing his due diligence. He is very cautious, and at the same time, he's very directed to do the right things for whatever task he's involved in. So I know that personally, in addition to my role as the system president, personally, Dr. Nick Bruno is going to be a wonderful and outstanding president at a very fine and outstanding and great university at the University of Louisiana at Monroe. So, Nick, I offer my congratulations to you from a personal perspective. Now, Mr. Seville and Dr. Bruno, and I'll probably never be asked to come back here. I just want to be clear about that. That's right here. There we go. Dr. Bruno, the presidential chain of office is inscribed with the names of the 7 individuals who have served as chief executive officers since this institution's inception in 1931. Inherent in this chain is the indelible connection you have with each of your predecessors and the storied history of this great institution. This chain and the office that it represents also embodies the ultimate responsibility for safeguarding and protecting the future of this university, for educating its students, for inspiring its faculty, for leading its staff, for encouraging research that will create new knowledge, and for reaching into the area and local communities and beyond. Dr. Bruno, by installing you as ULM's 8th president, we proclaim our confidence in your ability to meet these expectations, and we reaffirm our faith in the future of this great institution. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the University of Louisiana system, and with the giving of this presidential chain of office, I am pleased to officially install you as the president of the University of Louisiana at Monroe, with all the rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining thereto. Thank you, Mr. Seville. Please join me in congratulating President Nick Bruno. The university's academic mace represents a tradition which began in the late 14th century when 2 ancient instruments, the royal scepter and the battle mace, were combined. A symbol of authority, integrity, and enlightenment, ULM's mace is present at all ceremonial occasions which celebrate the academic excellence of this great university. We will now observe the very time-honored passing of the mace from the faculty, represented by Faculty Senate President Dr. Donna Rohr, to President Bruno, and back to the faculty through Interim Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Eric Panning. There are no celebrations or rituals in academia more sacred than those of the presentation of the presidential chain and the passing of the mace. And we're honored that all of you have joined us today, not only for the investiture of Dr. Bruno, but in the observance of those great historical issues. And now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you once again the 8th President of the University of Louisiana at Monroe, Dr. Nick J. Bruno.
Thank you, Dr. Moffitt, Mr. Sabile, and other members of the University of Louisiana System Board of Supervisors for your support and confidence in my ability to serve as this university's 8th president. I have prepared for this responsibility for many years, and I eagerly accept it. There are many people here today to whom I wish to express my gratitude. It is their encouragement, advice, and wisdom over the years that have sustained me in darker hours and elevated me during the brighter ones, such as today. First, a deep debt of gratitude goes to Linda, my wife. She's been by my side over the last 19 years and has allowed me to pursue my career and personal goals, even when the work hours were long and required us to move many times. During this time, she raised our children and taught those values and laid the moral foundation that will guide them successfully throughout their lives. Thank you, baby. Next is my family, who challenged me throughout the years and encouraged me to do what had never been done on either paternal or maternal sides of my family, and that was to get a college education and earn a degree. Several cousins have joined us today to help me celebrate this day. My parents are not seated in the audience, but they are in my heart, which is filled with gratitude for what they gave me. Also in the audience is one friend who I've known for over 55 years. I promised I wouldn't tell her my age, but she and I began kindergarten together, and other than my cousins, is the one person here today who has known me the longest. I'm humbled to have her here. Thank you to the many friends whom I have made over the years and who have traveled near and far to be with me today. There are individuals here who have traveled from Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Kentucky, and of course, Louisiana, to spend time and celebrate this occasion with me. Most of these friends I became associated with through higher education. All of them have contributed to my personal and professional growth. Last but not least, thanks to the faculty, staff, students, and people of this region who have welcomed me and my family so warmly to this university and the region. In the early discussions related to the investiture, one challenge was issued. That challenge was to highlight the excellence of the University of Louisiana at Monroe. We decided that this week should shine a spotlight on the accomplishments of our faculty, staff, and students, the achievements of our alums, and the inseparable bond between ULM, this region, and the state. The Investiture Committee issued the call to our students, faculty, and alums to plan a week of activities that would achieve that goal. I am proud to say they met the challenge. Thank you on a job well done. This week we heard great stories from our alumni as they shared how ULM, through its faculty, provided the foundation that allowed them to move on to the personal and professional successes they now enjoy. This includes the story of a young man from Marion, Louisiana, who, along with his 5 siblings, was raised by his father following his mother's death. He talked this week of the focus he had and the encouragement he received at ULM. He is now a vice president for CenturyLink, the 3rd largest communications company in America. And then there was the story of a young woman from Monroe who at the age of 19 had her first child. and by 21 had divorced and began her college career while working at a bank full-time. She earned her education degree and then a master's degree in history from ULM before completing law school. She is the subject of an HBO documentary as an attorney fighting for families impacted by hazardous waste. There's the story of a young man from Sterlington who earned his GED. By his own admission, started out as a weak student at ULM. He shared how he benefited from some of his mentors here, went on to graduate from medical school, and founded one of Louisiana's largest health networks. There's the story of a young woman from Sicily Island who, because of the connection she made with the faculty here, got on an airplane, which was her first time, for an overseas flight to intern in London. While there, she completed successfully that internship that led to the success she enjoys today working for a major insurance provider. And lastly, there was the story of the young TV reporter turned biographer who captured the interest of many with his book on former Governor Edwards. I could list success after success over ULM's remarkable history. I have chosen these as just a sample of what the faculty and staff of this institution has contributed to this region, state, nationally, and internationally over the years. Over 80 years ago, representatives from the Lions Club, Rotary Club, Kiwanis Club, and Chamber of Commerce worked to pass legislation to establish the beginnings of this great university, Ouachita Junior College. That commitment to higher education by not only the citizens of the Twin Cities, but also the entire region is a tradition that I am proud to be affiliated. It is important to celebrate and remember our past. However, we must now direct our energy to the future. I would like to share the direction we'll take to assure our continued success. We've been challenged to do more with less. The fact is, ULM has done more with less for many years. In fact, Dr. George T. Walker, in his book, The Building of a University, had a section dedicated to that topic. It is not a new concept at ULM. Over the years, the resolve and commitment by this faculty and staff, despite many challenges, have continued to educate our students, such as those I referenced earlier. We must build the most efficient organization possible. We must use every available resource to recruit and retain the very best students, faculty, and staff. The recent administrative reorganization is the first step. The vice presidents and I, in consultation with faculty and staff, will continue to review methods and processes and commit any savings to our academic core. We will raise our admission standards so as to recruit those students who have the greatest probability of succeeding at ULM. We shall become more aggressive in our recruiting efforts so as to not only increase the pool of qualified students, but to increase the success of our student population. My predecessor's charge was to welcome students regardless of their academic preparation through open admissions. Had this university been charged with the same expectations as we are now, I dare say the stories of success I outlined earlier would not have occurred. Those individuals may not have been admitted to this university. Our success will now be judged on our ability to retain and graduate students at a progressively higher rate. We shall meet that challenge. We will improve our internal operations. We must institutionalize a culture of promptness, civility, courtesy, and respect as we respond to the needs of our internal and external constituents. ULM has a fine reputation for warmth and kindness. We will build on that sound foundation. We will build upon the relevant research that has been and is being conducted at ULM, but in some cases has not been recognized outside of the departments in which the research was conducted. Cancer research, Alzheimer's disease, family therapy, archaeology, environmental, and many others provide opportunities to not only advance this university, but also help build the economic strength of this region. We will expand our partnerships with other higher education institutions, businesses, education, governmental agencies, civic organizations, and the agribusiness industry to build a better and stronger Northeast Louisiana. Since arriving, I have seen and discussed the potential for this region. Targeting higher education offerings that meet the demands of the region's businesses, including agribusiness, health sciences, education, technology, the arts and sciences, will not only retain regionally located industries, but also assist in the recruitment of new businesses to this area. We shall not lose our focus on this effort. We shall be a willing partner. We will continue to work diligently with our legislators and other public officials in their support of ULM and higher education in this region. We will be active in communicating the needs of this institution and how addressing those needs benefits this entire region. We serve one of the poorest areas in the country. Education is the best route in reducing that poverty. We must continue to be aggressive as a university to lead those efforts in reducing poverty and allowing every child to attain a better way of life. This can only be accomplished, however, if this institution is adequately funded. I often hear about the beauty of this campus, and I agree how pretty the bayou is and how wonderful the buildings and other infrastructure are that surround it. But the true beauty of this place is not always seen. The buildings and bayous represent ULM's external beauty, but its heart and soul is found in its people. It is found in the staff member who cuts grass in 100-degree heat. It is found in the person who reshelves library books night after night. It is present in the faculty member who provides one-on-one mentoring and advice to our students. It is evident in that member of the campus family who makes a student feel as if they are at home. Just 2 days ago, we dedicated and renamed the former administration building in honor of George T. Walker, the longest-serving president in our school's history. I want to conclude this afternoon by borrowing from his challenge to do more with less. Dr. Walker said, and I quote, "The strategy for growth was based on the belief that people, more than money and facilities, make the difference, in the building of an institution recognized for its quality. There are many special people who brought me to where I am today, and it took many special people to bring ULM to the place it is today. It will take all of you, the heart and soul of this institution and this region, to carry ULM forward to its next level of greatness. I hope to play a small part in that greatness. I thank you and commend you for all that you have done to make this place and this moment so special. Thank you all."
Interestingly, it's been a pretty smooth journey so far. I'm not so naive as to think there won't be bumps along the way. There will be. I think we're hopeful. I asked when I got here, I said, you know, certainly skill takes you so far and the talent of the administration will take you so far, but you have to have some luck. And I think we got a little lucky with the last budget year. If we can stay lucky through another one, I think we can begin to stabilize and reallocate our resources and make sure that we're strategic in everything we do. We want to be intentional. We want to make sure what we're doing is purposeful and that it's benefiting this region and it's benefiting our students. That's the goal, and that's what we'll continue to shoot for.